Hi guys. I told you, and I'm not. I'm always keeping my promises. I told you that I'm gonna take you to the European Clean Tech Tour. Last time we were in Estonia doing the live in Estonian Clean Tech Demo Center. Now we are here, and can you guess where are we today? Maybe you can show us around. Actually, first you can show yourself. This is Triin Vilvere. This is the marketing manager of Beamline Accelerator, and I'm Triinu Lukas. I'm the CEO of Beamline Accelerator, and you can leave your comments or questions throughout the live here. But first, please comment on where are we now. When you see the people here, then it's not a very good hint because it's so international. But like, then you can maybe see that there are like more curly people, not so blonde that I am or Trinis. So this place, of course, is Lisbon. This is the city of sweet love, the city of innovation. The mayor of Lisbon just 2 days ago said that his goal is to take Lisbon to be the capital of European innovation. So we can count on him anyway. And when you guess the name of the country, then and the city, then maybe you can also guess the event as well, because this is the greatest startup event in Europe. I can give you a little bit time. This is, of course, Web Summit, and as all the programs right now and all the countries, all the governments are going green, then also Web Summit has been going greener and greener. We have cleantech track here, and nice companies. We'll show you around a bit with different cleantech companies and also Portuguese clean tech companies, because we're still doing live about Portuguese clean tech. By the way, I have to tell you also that Beamline Accelerator is investing in clean tech, so we are really happy to be here talking with a guy who's probably the best person talking about the Portuguese startup ecosystem. And this guy is Andre Fort from Startup Portugal. He's the comms manager, marketing manager of Startup Portugal. And he yesterday he did a really successful panel on sustainability in this side event organized by the ethical assembly, of course, about sustainability. So this guy here probably knows the best what's happening in startup ecosystem in Portugal. But first, when we delve into that, there was the panel was so successful that I had questions that I wanted to ask, but all the people were hands up all the time. But one question that I would like to start with today, and it's the easiest one, is what do you think? What saves the world? Is it consumption, making consumption more fair, sustainable, or is it technology? So this is the easy question to start with.
Is it the easy question? Okay. I actually don't know. That's the thing. We need both awareness in the part of the consumer, and we need technology to step up and also make sure that companies understand what we need to do over the last years, because we can't put it all on the consumer when they have no options in the market. So it's obviously a two-part solution for it, at least in my opinion. Yeah.
There's no right or wrong answers, but to begin again with this easier question, then can you tell me why did you start working in startup sector in Portugal?
Well, that's a good. And I just kind of understood that there was a gap in Portugal where we don't really understand the need for having a business model and how we can expand what we do. And that's when I started to get more interested in business. That there came to be an opportunity to do PR and marketing for Startup Portugal, and obviously there's a skill set that I didn't have. I know how to do PR. Obviously, I don't know how to do business. So there's a good place to learn. So yeah, I just applied for it, and yeah, here I am today, 4 years after.
How many years then?
Yeah, I started back in 2017 December, so this is my fourth year, soon to be. Yeah.
And Portugal really is. Uh, Portugal really is like the. We are going to the podcast mode, I think, right now for a second because the connection, of course, is is a little bad for the video, but Trin will handle it soon as well. What I wanted to say is that Lisbon's and Portuguese cleantech startup ecosystem is actually really booming. And since like when we did the live last time in Estonia, we could really go into all the startups out there and ask or like feature them in a video like that. But right now it's not it's not really doable. Because the Portugal is just so big. But I've talked to people from the ecosystem, got to know different companies dealing with it, and actually, Trin also shows you these little clouds on the screen right now. These are the startups, cleantech startups, maybe. The youngest startups and the ones that really are great. Portuguese startup ecosystem. I mean, is it clean tech or is it IT, or can you tell me some trends on that?
So I believe that the training sectors in Portugal in startups are actually health tech, AI and machine learning. It's really interesting, and data-driven businesses. So that's usually the ones that are making the biggest bang. But we can't really talk about Portugal without talking about clean tech and sustainability, because how important tourism is for our country. So we have natural resources that we need to keep to make sure that all these sectors work. We need resources. We need to make sure that the water is not depleted from Alentejo. It's part of our ecosystem, and obviously it's what we use the most money to promote. It's the country itself, so people come and visit us. The tourism sector is really, really huge. It's a huge industry here. So obviously sustainability and making sure this is a sustainable business model that will last for decades is important. And when we usually speak about the raise of temperature and we talk about the medium level, it's never a medium level in all the places. Some places feel it more than others, and Portugal is feeling it. That's why people are starting and entrepreneurs are starting to really care about it and to propose solutions to save water, to do aquaculture, and all of that is happening in the ecosystem, which is quite interesting.
Sure, I heard that this year, I think in the summer, the hottest temperature was like 40 degrees. I would be like a snowman, like when it would be so hot. But can you maybe, we are narrowing down now to clean tech, can you maybe tell me what you think are like some sectors or fields specifically in clean tech that uh, you know, into the
Well, I believe the sectors most the ones that care about sustainability at this point is the textile industry. So, and, well, and we apartments are a little bit cheaper because it doesn't have a proper. So that's something that's happening. Making it more efficient, invest less because we have the knowledge to do. It's a good of innovation and the change and how people are. Apart from that, we have a little bit and we have so feed that has been used there. So yeah, a lot of upcycling trash. So picking up trash from that come from the ocean and are reusing it the oceans. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, there's so many, so much natural resources going on here. Also, I think forest sector is really innovating as well. They're dealing with forest agriculture innovation. So yeah, but maybe I wanted to end the interview already with you, but it just was so great event yesterday that we were attending. It was full of my two loves of life. One was the arts, and the other one was sustainability. Uh, Political assembly, because yeah, the patrician
Short for our I want to say ambition, but it's not actually ambition. It's something. It's her call, I would say. So she's really paramount about sustainability, being ecological, ethical on how she does stuff. So she decided to move forward with a summit, kind of that it's only focused on ethical businesses and sustainability, completely greenwashing free, which is quite crazy to do so. There's usually the money comes from greenwashing, and she went completely the other way, and she doesn't mind taking risks. That's why you have somebody like GoParity, which is peer lending services, well, pretty similar to banking, sitting next to Sea Shepherd, which is somewhat extreme. And well, she's willing to take that risk. So Patricia is an inspiring person, and she has her heart and her mind in the right place. And Ethical Assembly has been somebody who we've been partnering with Patricia for 3 years now. And every time she sets up an event, Startup Portugal is there. We love working with her.
we're still on the podcast mode sometimes, but I mean, one thing to add. I mean, you don't need to watch us, of course. You just need to listen to us. So one thing I wanted to say, yeah, Trine wants to tell me something. Yeah. Anyway, Trin said that we should move on because we have startups waiting, of course. So stick with us. Just when we are talking about the ethical assembly, then. What are some of the other maybe support mechanisms for cleantech startups in here? Are there some I don't know, policy means, or how you do support your startups overall or cleantech startups?
So right now, digitalization and going for a greener approach to production is something that the Portuguese government is really focused on. So we are creating a green voucher, which is to support startups to make sure they are more efficient and more green. So that's a really interesting thing. Apart from that, there's a fund called the Social Innovation Fund, just for these kinds of businesses. So ethical businesses, there are on par with the UN 16 development goals, sustainable development goals. So if you are hacking a business that is pushing one of those goals. The Social Innovation Fund is like a normal investment fund, and it's just set up for these types of business, which I find really important because usually the most difficult thing about doing sustainability is finding funding. 'Cause some people don't understand that there's money on it, So I believe that these are the most important support systems. There's also a private fund just for these kinds of businesses, which is the MAIS Impact Fund, which is quite amazing. They are incubated in Casa do Impact, was yesterday with us in the conversation. And obviously, Casa do Impact are doing God's work. Yeah.
Thank you. We are moving on now. One startup wanted me to say to you that he's looking looking for you as well. So say, and we are also moving to Shimei Shito. So bye. Trin, tell me how's with the video?
It's not there.
All right, all right. I'm having the interview with Trin. We're just for a second. We are closing down the live and coming back in 2 minutes. 1 minute. 1 minute.